what is the hardest thing you find in living this Trappist life? There are two answers. One says the most difficult thing is to spend all your life living simply by faith. We don't have diplomas, we don't have evidence of the fruitfulness of our life. So it is a long journey, a desert journey, and you have to keep your faith living and growing. The other answer, other persons would answer, the hardest thing is community life. So there are two dimensions for human growth and development, even on the natural level, and grace builds on nature. You have to have a development on your inner, individual, personal way, but also you have to develop in relationship. So, or maybe these two answers reflect two dimensions of each person. Our Cistercian fathers, the Bernard and the others in the 1100s, were taken with a sort of a three-stage program of growth. Each monk or spiritual father would work out or develop his own way. It isn't 20 years in the first stage, 20 years in the second stage, 20 years in the third stage. It's three levels, and all of them are operative in the beginning. And but there is a deepening and growing as time goes on. A man may get into his midlife time, and he finds he's assailed with sexual temptations and fantasies. And he said, wait a minute, I worked all that out when I was 20, 30 years old. I first entered the monastery, or that's why I entered the monastery. I took care of all that. Why is this bugging me now? Well, he's great, you've integrated, you've done it, but you need to go more deeply and fully into purification, into understanding and channeling that as a help to love of self, neighbor, and God. It's a daily ebb and flow. My earliest years were the struggle with spiritual direction, confessor, to keep trying to open up and be prepare myself to receive this gift of faith. So I kept working as well as I could according to my own lights. At one point, our abbot Philip told me, you're running a great race, but you're off the track. But I was trying. I could not be convinced that what he was directing me was God's will. I would always find distinctions or objections or difficulties, and always coming round and round. But then, after about 4 years, there was this moment of grace when God let me see that, yes, Don Philip's way is the right way. He is true. This is the word of God coming to me through the spiritual father. And that was what I needed, and I still needed years afterwards to keep being able to put that into practice and to extend it to every area of life. But that was the beginning, and that would fit with our Cistercian fathers' view of growing and developing in the spiritual life. That the first stage is a purification. That's the beginning. That's the foundation. Mm-hmm. And we do that so that we may come closer to God, that we may be able to have a closer personal relationship. And of course, it's not just living with myself or living with my neighbor. It's also living with God. from the very beginning, of trying to pray, learn how, or what works and what doesn't work for me in trying to pray. And trying to put myself in God's presence, or maybe occasionally God's presence coming to me. But then in this second stage of growing, first purification, then growth, okay, that would be the second. You have faith growing in understanding. It's still faith, but you're beginning to understand more and more. Oh, that's what this means. Oh, that's why we do this. Oh, that's what's behind all that. But in the more contemplative third stage, if you will, or third level, there's that sense that all of these things that happen within myself, my own struggles, my own growth, my own successes or failures, my own gifts or inadequacies, and then the things around me, the people I deal with, the community life, the jobs or assignments I'm given, responsibilities, all of this is, in a sense, external. It's real, it has to be accepted and dealt with responsibly, but in it all is God's will. A monk is called to leave all things and follow Christ in this desert journey. So all these things are things we meet along the desert way, along the path, the desert journey. But the heart of it is that I am walking with Christ on a journey of return to the Father. And that's the heart of it all. We see that and know that in the beginning. But then as you get into this third stage, more and more you can let go of your own ambitions, your own needs, your immediate goals, and things that happen or come up that you don't agree with. Maybe the decisions that are made on the community level, or policies that happen, or jobs that are given or are taken away, that it really doesn't matter that much. So there's a greater quiet and peace there that it's a struggle. You have to work at it, but it's there and it's more pervasive. If the first stage is more faith, and then the second is more trust and hope, confidence, the third is love. The rest, the peace, the fulfillment of love.